Divine Souls. I'm truly grateful you're here with me in Oriah Divine Sanctuary, a space dedicated to healing, awareness, and spiritual alignment. If this video has appeared in your life today, trust that there may be a message here meant specifically for you. If the words shared here resonate with your spirit, I encourage you to like, share, comment, and subscribe so we can continue building a community centered around truth, healing, and higher consciousness. Earlier today, during meditation, I allowed myself to slow down, to breathe, and to simply be present. And in that quiet space, I began to tune into the energetic frequency of the collective, sensing what many people may be navigating on their spiritual journeys right now. And from that awareness, this message emerged. One of the least discussed parts of personal growth is how lonely transformation can feel. People often talk about healing, reinvention, and self-development as exciting, and sometimes it is. But there is another side to growth that many people experience quietly: isolation. Why? Because reinventing yourself often changes multiple areas of your life at the same time. Your mindset changes, your habits change, your boundaries change, your emotional tolerance changes, your priorities change, and sometimes your relationships change too. As you evolve, you may begin noticing that certain environments, conversations, or dynamics no longer feel aligned. Things that once felt familiar may suddenly feel draining, limiting, or emotionally disconnected. This can feel disorienting, especially because growth often places people in an in-between season. You are no longer fully connected to your old identity, but you have not fully stabilized into your new one yet. That transition can feel emotionally lonely. You may feel disconnected from people who knew the previous version of you. Sometimes friends or family struggle to adjust to your growth, especially if your transformation changes the role you once played. For example, if you were once the people pleaser, your boundaries may create tension. If you were once emotionally available to everyone at all times, your self-protection may be misunderstood. If you were once driven by insecurity or approval seeking, your confidence may disrupt old relational patterns. Growth changes systems, and not everyone adapts comfortably when systems change. Another reason reinvention feels lonely is because healing changes your tolerance. You begin recognizing behaviors you previously normalized. You may notice emotionally draining relationships, lack of reciprocity, unhealthy communication, chronic negativity environments that keep you emotionally dysregulated. And once awareness increases, it becomes harder to participate in certain dynamics the same way. This can naturally reduce connection with people or spaces that no longer align with your healing. That does not automatically mean you think you are better than others. It simply means your needs, values, and emotional capacity are evolving, and evolution can create temporary separation. There is also grief involved in reinvention. You may grieve old identities, old relationships, old dreams, old coping mechanisms, or old versions of belonging. Even unhealthy familiarity can feel emotionally comforting because it is known. Leaving behind familiar patterns, even painful ones, can create emotional withdrawal. The brain and nervous system often prefer familiarity over uncertainty, so growth can feel psychologically destabilizing before it feels empowering. This is why loneliness during transformation is not necessarily evidence that something is wrong. Sometimes it reflects restructuring. Your life is reorganizing around a different version of yourself, and that process takes time. So how do you navigate this season? First, stop interpreting every lonely moment as failure. Growth often requires periods of separation, reflection, and recalibration. Second, stay connected to yourself. Many people become so focused on external validation that they lose connection with their own internal development. Spend time strengthening your relationship with yourself, not just your image, but your actual inner life. Third, allow relationships to evolve naturally. Not every relationship is meant to survive every season in the same form. That reality can be painful, but it is normal. And finally, remember that reinvention creates space for healthier relationships, more authentic connection, greater peace, deeper self respect, and a life that aligns more closely with who you are becoming, not just who you once had to be. You are not failing because growth feels lonely sometimes. You are transitioning, and transitions are rarely comfortable while they are happening, but they can still lead somewhere meaningful. Divine souls, thank you for stepping into Oriah Divine's sanctuary. This space exists to support your healing, elevate your awareness, and guide you through the sacred process of personal transformation. Here, you are safe to grow spiritually, emotionally, and authentically. And it is truly an honor to share this journey with you. Always remember, awareness begins the healing, but your transformation begins the moment you choose to honor your voice. Until we meet again, continue walking in truth, protecting your peace, and letting your divine light shine